Open it up. Saturday night. There we go. Working on a new something new for Saturday night. This is the Saturday night weekly roundup of WP Plugins A-Z show. And hopefully this working through things here. And one thing I just realized, I need my headphones. Good headphones. Thank you, kid. Oh, where's my adapter? There we go. One of my sons' adapter. Can't use. Eventually I'll get that. All right. Welcome to the Saturday night live roundup of WP Plugins A-Z.com. This is where I will discuss WordPress news that I've discovered over the show, little bits of information, roundup of things that have occurred to me during the week in the WordPress community. And this week here, I'll be finishing up with, of course, that little fiasco from last week that you only got half the story on, where I was thinking I was possibly banned from WordPress. Well, by Sunday, they got back to me. I have been banned from WordPress.org. And I think I'll start with that part of it, because it's the entertaining part and it's the part biggest on my head at the moment. There's a full spread of the article over at WP Plugins A-Z.com, and you can go read all about it, having been banned from the WordPress.org forums, in that I am no longer allowed to post there. Can't even create another account there. It's something that occurred to me. Yeah, granted, it was well, I should say partly my fault, because it wasn't fully my fault, because I was doing what I thought was okay. It seemed okay to me. What I was doing was I was creating posts in the WordPress.org forum for plugin review, which is, of course, what my show is all about. WordPress Plugins A-Z, reviewing plugins. Well, now I'm reviewing 4 or 5 a week. Well, 4 WordPress plugins, 1 classic press plugin, etc. So anyway, for the longest time with my co-host Marcus, we were reviewing 6 plugins a week. We've reviewed, between the two of us, we've reviewed over 3,000-4,000 plugins in the life of the show. The show has been running now for almost 8 years, 9 years, give or take, almost 9 years. 2011, so yeah, 8 years. 2011, October 2011 was when it first went. And in that time, I've done a lot for the community, for everything. And I finally went, hey, I need to put some of these up on the WordPress.org forums. So I did. I put the review there, but I would also put a link back to the show the plugin was reviewed in. I thought it would be useful for the author or for the plugin developer. I thought it would be viewing the reviews. Well, it turns out, according to WordPress.org rules, they don't have any rules. What I found just really entertaining. There are no rules. They have guidelines. And guidelines are something that can be enforced or not enforced, depending on the person enforcing. So, at any rate, they banned my account, but they banned it when I wasn't around, because I didn't log in a lot. I logged in every few months. I thought I was logging in every couple of months. It seemed I'd been a 5-month hiatus. And they had well, I'll say they had. They said they sent me emails telling me not to make posts like that anymore, not do it anymore, and then they just banned me. Like, okay. saw those emails, but so be it. That happens. How do we get it back? Well, I tried going back and forth with them and being properly contrite, accepting my responsibility. But as I'm going along through the email thread back and forth, I realized nothing less than me getting down on my metaphorical knees and begging forgiveness for all of my sins and praising the Almighty, whatever, that I wouldn't get my account back. So basically, in the end, I called them out on all of their bullshit. Guy I was dealing with, Jan Dombrowski, he was a bit of a pain in the neck. He seemed to be a little full of himself, and it turned out that I have not been the only person to target his, I want to call it wrath, but it's not really wrath, it is pettiness. Target of pettiness. One of the interesting things I found out when doing this is they actually changed one of their guidelines because of what I was doing. Because in their guidelines, they had a guideline rule there out direct. One's really interesting that they changed that guideline. When I sent them the last email previous to it on December 20th of 2018, their guideline said if you are a plugin or theme developer or a representative of a company involved with WordPress in some way, like a hosting provider, having a separate personal business account is acceptable. Now, this is one of the things I'm trying to do was to have separate my personal account to use help and questions, support, etc., and then have a business one for WP plugins. Put the review there, and then what people would see is they would see the review was left by WP plugins, not left by John overall. Well, I might be more known to WP. I don't know. At any rate, that's what it said. They said it was acceptable. But on December 21st, the day after I made that proposal, they changed the rules. And they changed the rule to read specifically if you are a plugin or theme developer only, having separate and personal business accounts is acceptable. Uploading code and other things. They just completely cleaned up. Well, they did make it very crystal clear, which was nice. Had I seen that, I never would have asked that question. But of course, it wasn't there when I asked the question. And of course, you'd have to read the responses. So this is what happened there. I've been banned and I've accepted my fate with them. And basically, I'm just like, okay, well, I'll live without the account. Not the end of the world. I've been banned from better. But that's life. Win some, and then you go on. What else do we have in the world of WordPress news? Let's see here. Other things that have happened. Okay, we are coming to the end of 2018 and we are moving into 2019. I haven't seen the list of the best of for WordPress or other things yet this week. I imagine I'll be covering those in the first week of January. This is my last live show for the weekend of January. In fact, this is the last live show of the WP Plugins A-Z show till 2019. I won't be doing another show until 2019. Because the next show is, of course, next Thursday when I do the live podcast for WP Plugins. So what do we got? First bit of news. How about we pop into the tavern and we have a look at what the tavern has. Here's an article from the tavern. WordPress 5.02 to bring major performance improvements scheduled for December 19th. Well, it did come out and it has been released. And the 5.02 is out. I don't know how it works yet because I actually don't have a site running on Gutenberg yet. I'm going to continue to call it Gutenberg, but I understand the WordPress community, the WordPress.org or Automatic or whatever, they are trying to get the name changed from Gutenberg to Block Editor. The Block Editor. They want to call it the Block Editor, not just Gutenberg. They probably realize how bad of a choice that was because now Gutenberg is being reframed as it's no longer WordPress, it's Gutenberg. Not WordPress, it's Gutenberg. That's pretty much how it's. At any rate, 5.02, it's released, and it's supposed to have fixed some slow performance issues. They fixed 26 open issues. They've updated the editor. They've made some changes. Now, I did catch an article today about a new editor, or not new editor, a standard editor. The Tiny MCE plugin has been expanded for Gutenberg and works in Gutenberg blocks. So if you really like the Tiny MCE add-ons for the editor, looks like they've made them available for the. It's an improvement. That might make life a little. Really going to have to buckle down, get into. Problem is I've been working on projects, and those projects have been tied to WordPress, and can't. I don't have the bandwidth learning curve. Yeah, you could say, well, you could do less shows, but I like doing these because of the work I do. So that be that. Got some other miscellaneous articles here. We've got Updraft. Uh, I think I've talked about this in the last week's show. Is Updraft has expanded their plugin so that it now does incremental backups. And incremental backups are an amazing thing. If you've never dealt with incremental backups, you should. Incremental backup help you when you're dealing with a site that's large. You have to do a backup. And if you're on a piss poor server, I'm not going to name companies. There you go. uh, excuse me. So if you're on one of those piss poor servers, you try to do a full backup, it slows everything down. You get slapped with restrictions because you courses, etc. It does an incremental backup, so it only backs up the files that have changed since the last backup. It didn't use pieces. So Updraft, it's supposed to be a pretty good plugin. I think I used it once upon a time several years ago, but I haven't used it since. At any rate, go check it out. See what else we got here. What's next on here? Let's go click through these. I have links to numerous articles. Oh, okay. Top 10 HTML to WordPress companies for 2018. And I'm pretty sure I covered this article last week too. Really gotta. But of course, this practice, this is a show that is just coming together. It's expected to be about half an hour, give or take, every Saturday night, 8 o'clock. All right. Hire WP Geeks, WordScore, Designs to HTML, CSS Chopper, Markup Cloud, HTML Guide, Value Coders, Dell and Infotech, Arc IT Solutions, CMS there. CMS, that's one company I can get behind. The rest of them, I have no idea who they are. We'll leave it at that. Next article. This one comes from makewordpress.org. Exploring a nav block at WordCamp US. Oh, I did talk about this last week. We'll briefly cover it again. This is where they're looking at Gutenberging the navigation menu. That'll be an interesting chore. Navigation menu is something unto itself. Now they want to stick it in a block and have it work in blocks. See how it works. Gutenberg's going to be interesting over the next year. Sort of looking forward to it, but at the same time, I'm not. Because, I hate change, but change is inevitable. You gotta suck it up and take the change when. Right. Another article from the Tavern. All right, WordPress designers explore ideas for moving that. Oh, this is one we just talked about. They put it in a better article. Hey, look at that. They got better design. Oh, no, there it is. Same thing there. More. Okay, so hmm, yeah, I'm not sure I'm liking it, but see what happens. It's gonna be rather interesting. So, well, we got one person watching. It asked me a couple questions here and there. I like questions. I really. What do I see? Article? Right. Well, I did have a whole bunch of articles lined up about points berry that die its own that it was. I get all worked up when I have to deal with selenium. And you just sort of accept it and move on because you can't be embroiled in it for very long life. Unless of course that's how you make it. Of course not my life. Let's see what else we got. Need to go find a couple of articles here. I had a whole bunch. Save that stuff. But let's see what we got. News. They're really in the actual news. Hmm. How about if we pop into the front page of the tavern? See what's there. What do they got? Their latest article. They haven't published since December 21st. Kind of off. I guess they took the holidays off, like I should have, but I didn't. I had actually hoped some people would show up, ask me. I always like quick. That stimulates my mind. I don't always have the questions. Oh well. That's, I think I had something from Blogate I could bring. See what we got. We had some interesting stuff to get in our. Anna's done a fan. Her and I were about the same level at one point. She managed to jump so far ahead of me. For credit, she's had more time to devote. Time is what you need to business. One thing I've not always had. Starting to get it back. The children are spend as more and more need. What is it like running a freelance business? Well, I can say it's a fair amount of work sometimes. Sometimes it's a amount of the podcast is one thing that has stayed consistent. I've well, not always. There's been a few weeks where almost always gotten a show out every single week. There's been times where the show is day format has changed and figuring out things. Like I go back to my shows now. But of course I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, seems like it's interesting. Co-host Marcus helped me improve the show dramatically for a while. For those of you that might actually listen to this, please leave some comments below. Subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate magic hand. That is it. How you doing? do like my new camera. Faces the background. Oof. I think there's a microphone. Oh, no. Allowed me to actually customize. Anyway, I've been at this for 20 minutes. I don't have as much information as I had hoped to have this week. And I don't have anyone to ask me questions. Like last week, I had some questions being asked. Nice. So please feel free. One of the things I like for the podcast, the actual podcast itself, which is not in this is a relaxed atmosphere. This is where I just want to kick back, chat, make mention of news pieces that I have, suggest, hey, go subscribe to our newsletter. We get news and information there, bits and pieces. You know, contact me, send me questions. I'll answer them here. Who knows? We'll just go into all kinds of stuff. Bits and see this improve. This will improve time. Have faith in it. Actually, been doing this way too long. But the whole idea, share with others everything I have found out. See what I have in here. That's it. Got nothing. All right. Well, thank you very much to the one listener who showed up and listened to the show. I'm going to let it go at that, and we're just going to close it out and call it. Take care now.
Reminders for the show. All the show notes can be found at WP Plugins A-Z.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the Friday newsletter for more useful information delivered directly to your inbox. WP Plugins A-Z is a show that offers honest and unbiased reviews of plugins created by developers because you support the show. Help keep the show honest and unbiased by going to WPPluginsAZ.com/donate and set the donation level that fits your budget. Help us make the show better for you by subscribing and reviewing the show at Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and in the iTunes Store. You can also watch the show live on YouTube, check out the screencasts and training videos, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications of all new videos. Also, follow the show on Twitter at WP Plugins A-Z. John can be reached at his website at johnoverall.com or send him an email, john@wppro.ca. Thanks for joining us and have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the show. This show is copyright by johnoverall.com. So until next time, have yourselves a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be out there on the globe today.